So this is our agenda for the day. So we are going to start with, we have 5 major models. So our first thing we're going to talk about is analytics today, because we know ever since the pandemic hit us, we've had some small changes on our trends. So we need to see what is the new trend today and what are the challenges that we currently face in our daily jobs and who expect to face based on the effect of the pandemic. And the second is going to be, we're going to talk about the current opportunities that have been created, because at times when things happen like this, some benefit, some suffer. So we have some new current opportunities which we have to seize. And then we are also going to talk about the skills that are currently needed today, because given those new opportunities, we now have new skills that are required. And then we are also going to talk about how to prepare to seize these opportunities and win. And then at the end, we will provide time for you to ask your questions, and we'll have a small question and answer session, and we close. So first of all, let me start. So who am I? I'm Cyril Bandolo. So I'm a data analyst with more than 10 years experience. I've worked with mostly telecom companies like MTN. I'm currently in UMI as Senior Manager Data Analytics and Business Performance. So I have a lot of experience. I've been taking roles like business analyst, decision support, operations analyst, data analytics. So I have a lot of experience on analysis. And then also I'm a freelancer on Upwork, mostly doing data science work like web scraping, machine learning. So that is also where I get some of my skills about data science, some practical experience. And then I'm also the owner of the YouTube channel, Data Science with Cyril, where I train how to learn Python, give some small information, tips about the job market, applications of data science. So it's really a channel to take your hand from zero to hero, which I created based on the passion for the data science. And then, so some of the skills which I have acquired over the years are advanced Excel, even working with Visual Basics, Python. I started with R a long time ago, and I switched to Python because Python was more commercial, and SQL, Power BI, then Tableau, and statistical application software. So these are some of the skills that I have. I'm not saying I'm an expert in all of them, but then I have the broad knowledge of them, and some relatively I'm deep. So I'm also the founder of the Analytics CFD, which is a firm which does training for, because the CFD actually stands for Center for Data. It's actually so we can really be a center for data where we train on data analysis, data science, data related roles. And we also offer some consulting services and workshop for data, anything data generally, because like in my country, and I think in most countries, we don't have data science and data analysis. Analytics, well, data analysis, analytics might be popular, but then data science, when we talk of data science, machine learning, deep learning, some don't. I mean, it's not really common in some countries. Like in mine, we don't have the training institutions for that. So let's dive straight into the first model, which is our analytics as of now. I would just like to confirm. Can somebody turn on the mic and let me know if you're listening, so I can be sure we are on the same page?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So we want to say what has changed over this last few years. So when you take a look at this trend, which starts from April 2014 to June 2021, you see that there was supposed to be a rise here, but then all of a sudden, because this is from India, these are the jobs that are available in this is the whole of India, because India has the highest analytics right now professionals in the world. They have the highest number of data analytics and data scientists. So I got this from the Analytics magazine India. If you see here, the data science jobs have been growing exponentially, really exponentially. And then all of a sudden, when in March, around March, the lockdown, March 20, 2020, the lockdown was announced here. So that is where you saw that dip, which was a general layoff of many professions too, not only data science. But then if you notice, you see that immediately as things started getting better, we see a great boom. And then this is a huge boom here, showing that we are back with an increase in the demand for data scientists and data analysts. And now the skills are a bit different, which we'll see here, but then we see that there is a big need for, there's a big demand, and it just keeps increasing every day. Companies, some of them had sent some of their work on remote. Like for example, on Upwork, I noticed data science jobs out of where we're increasing almost every day. So you have lots of jobs. Some of them are remote, some of them are local. So most of them, you see there's an increase here. So we have to just confirm with the fact that data science is demanded, is something that they need, companies need, and that's justified here by the fact that this is an upward trend and is increasing exponentially. So let us take ourselves everywhere. This is where everything starts, the analytics process, because this is who we are. This is what defines who we are from different professions. This is our process, our life cycle. So usually we always start with framing the business problem, framing the problem. What are the objectives of this specific problem? We need to be clear. Management can tell us the problem is because salespeople are not selling, but if we might discover that the problem is maybe a problem between the two managers, or something, it could be something completely different, which might not even merit Excel or an analytic solution. So you might be called to come and solve a problem when actually the problem is not an analytic problem, it's maybe a political problem. Say, for example, they call you, they say, we need to estimate how we could launch a new telecom in maybe out of the country with the new branch, but then the law says the data should not go out of the country. So you might waste your whole time building a model, and at the end of the day, it's not really worth it. So this is where we really machines can't take over here. So we really need to be able to set our objectives right and be able to know this is what we are really trying, these are the KPIs we are trying to measure, this is what the model expects from us before moving forward. This is very, very important. So then the next step is usually the data collection. We need to collect the relevant data so we know this data merits that we should collect maybe primary data from our companies or secondary data from other sources or tertiary data. So you also have to be able to clean that data when you get it, because data doesn't come as you expected. You might collect data for somebody who was maybe entering the data and leaving the space for age or date of birth empty for children. So you might see that place empty and you might be tempted to delete it, but actually it's missing values with information. It's empty, but the information in that is that when he was a kid below say 18, the person entering that data did not enter that data. So that is still data for you. So you need to be careful how you're cleaning your data. And then there is now the exploratory data analysis, which is different from descriptive data analysis and different from diagnostic, different from predictive, and different from prescriptive. What is peculiar about exploratory data analysis is that you are focused on discovering what you don't even know what you're looking for. So it's like you're swimming, you get into water, and then you see maybe some yellow color somewhere at the edge of the ocean. You say, okay, let me go and check out that. Then is it interesting? Is it a new species of fish that we found out? No, it's not interesting. It's just normal fish. You move again to the right, you move to the left. So this is very powerful because we don't know what we are looking for. The data is telling us things, but we are not listening. So when you go into exploratory data analysis, that's where you use your visualization to be able to come up with insights that you can come on Monday and tell your manager, I found something over the weekend. Let's keep selling to the north and maybe stop selling to the south, stuff like that. That's exploratory data analysis. And generally, the data analyst most of the time ends here, averagely. It is usually the data scientist who moves further with the machine learning, building a model. Maybe it could be a linear regression model. It could be mostly predictive models, could be recommender systems, so that subsequently it can be deployed to the cloud. And that is the cycle. And then you have now MLOps, which is machine learning operations, which is it is hot now with the cloud, because as we had this pandemic, many data centers, people were not able to access them. So many of them had to go to the cloud. That's why there's this new job, which is hot now, machine learning operations. If you know about DevOps, for those who were used to taking care of the cloud. So MLOps is because you might build your model yourself as a data scientist. Nobody understands that model because it's so complicated. So you need to go and deploy it yourself, maintain it yourself, and do some incremental learning yourself. So incremental learning, because when you don't maintain your models, there are times when it starts failing. For example, during the time of this pandemic, you had these retail stores, Walmart and all these stores, their models were failing with predicting sales of dresses, for example, because in their own models, they were commanding, let's say, the top, the shirt, and the trouser complete. But with Corona, you have many people who sit in conferences, they don't put on the suit trouser, they just put on the top, the vest. So people were buying more of the top, the shirt, than the trouser. So they had to review those models, which were like kind of misleading. So that is where deploying and maintaining of your models is very, very important. So let's move on. So what has happened on the problem framing side, companies were struggling for short-term survival because customers started reducing their spending pattern because of speculating. Nobody knew when the pandemic would end. So some people were not wanting to spend. So companies were having it hard. So any model that they were favoring was it should have short-term reaction. It should not be something that would take us 2 years, because before 2 years, maybe we'll be out of this business. Nobody knows when the vaccine will be created and all that. So that is why the first thing we noticed was that the models, companies were, can you do this project within maybe 1 month, 2 days, even we need to get the results immediately. And then the second thing which most of us should have noticed was there was the digitalization, like Zoom went up, the sale of Zoom, Amazon, digital channels. Since we could not move, we're not able to move. So digital, that is where digital exploded. And then, so most of the companies were reprioritizing their budgets towards the digital channels so that they can capture this new trend, which people could not move out. They had to order something online before. We had to do it this time around. So, and then the other thing now is, because of, initially people used to have models that were just internal data and just concerned the data analyst. But with the pandemic, we learned that we need to bring in even weather specialists. We need to bring in even we need to bring in data, lots of external, we need to bring in other subject matter experts, so that our model is not just internal company structured data from the warehouse, but our model is from the data warehouse. Our model is like, it should be inclusive as much as possible, so that we can be able to see things that maybe it will be like, why did data science not predict Corona, for example? So, but then that's another thing. Even though we have a few data scientists who were giving some models working towards that light. And we also know that data science helped a lot in that it helped a lot with simulation. There's lots of stuff that data science helped the pandemic. So the next thing, let's move on. The next thing is the work from home risks, because now many people are working from home. That is where, if you have noticed recently, there's this huge problem of cyber security. That is why security analytics is also in high demand now, because as we are working from home, people are sending us lots of phishing attacks, sending us emails that you might click, and it's a clickbait. You click and then it takes you somewhere, collects information, enters the system. So there was that difficulty to manage the new security challenges. So the problem framing, it had to include security. So you also have it affected the way we collect data and the way we do our exploratory data analysis. In that are you there with me? I just want to check. Just a check. Are you
Yes,
following?
sir.
Can somebody?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Yes,
thanks.
we are here.
Thanks. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Good. So we'll have time to exchange at the end, really. And let's go with the theory. So later, the next thing that has changed is the way we collect data and the way we do to collect more external data, which is related to the problem statement before. It's not just dependent on what are the sentiments in Twitter, what are people saying, so lots of things have to be included in our model so that we have a 360 view before doing our predictions. If not, they will say data scientists are always predicting things that are leading us the wrong way. I'm not saying that it should be 100%, but generally that's the fact with data acquisition. And then the next thing is we had a huge problem of when you outliers. Now, is 2020 considered to be an outlier year? Should we cancel the data from 2020 and start afresh? Because it was not normal. People were not behaving normally. Things that were maybe not doing well before were doing well now. Maybe Zoom exploded. Will Zoom keep exploding? So that is the problem now, the problem of data quality. Should we consider it as outlier, or should we think that the trend will continue like this for a long time before maybe we'll never go back to pre-pandemic? So this is the challenge we have right now, data quality. And then we also have this next one, which is there is that huge pressure of companies wanting the data cleaning to be faster. And if you have been updating yourself in data science, you'll notice that there are lots of new packages that there was some period where there was a lot of fear. Will we be replaced? So we'll discuss that later in the presentation fast. That is why they are favoring automation, so that anybody who can automate it for you. So people are coming up with new packages to make automation faster, which is a good thing, automation. And then the next thing here is on this side, we have we need to act. So this should be included in our correlations when we are there. You can't. We inherited it from the pandemic. We need to accept that and include that in our models. And then still again, for the exploratory data analysis, people want a lot of automation, so you just present the charts fast. That's why you see also Power BI is rising, is increasing, because Power BI and Tableau, all that, because we want to see quickly what's happening, so that today we could take the decision today and make sure we save the company today from closing up, because many companies were at the verge of bankruptcy. They had to send some workers home, some were laid off, so they don't want to close down. So this is why automation keeps repeating itself here and here, because of that aspect of quick results. Then we also have where now the bosses were like, we need to have a clearer communication from our data analyst team and their models. We need to be clear. All of us need to sit and understand this thing because we are in it together. No error. We don't want any mistake. Any small mistake, all of us will be out of business. So we need to be clear with anything we are saying. We need to say, this is just an assumption. This is probability. This is that. We need to be clear with what we are saying. So our communication needs to be up to the task. And then you also have for those now, this is for mostly the data science people who are building machine learning models and deploying. We had this thing of still the outliers issue. They want faster models too. And then the big thing that came in is the cloud services. That's why if you see all over the place, AWS is doing lots of promotion, Google Cloud, AWS is even encouraging women to come and join workshop and take exams. So there's a lot of demand here because people wanted to use the cloud to build pipelines where you can start extraction from the cloud, cleaning from the cloud, building your models there, deploying it, doing incremental learning, that is correcting your model and maintaining and correcting and maintaining and correcting. Just stay in the cloud. So you just build like a step function in AWS to come up to connect your Redshift, connect your S3, your storage, your data, your Redshift, your QuickSight, everything just in a full in a pipeline, as you say. So also there was that thing of incremental learning, which is the fact that the models is not, we don't just do a model and drop it and leave it and go away. We need to be maintaining that model, be watching, is it still predicting right? Because like, for example, when we are modeling human behavior, our behaviors change a lot. So we cannot just stick with the old model we had and then we just stay with it. We always have to maintain the model even more now because there's a close daily follow-up more than before. So actually, so in summary, what do companies want right now? So these are things which should get you thinking. So you start orientating yourself towards what they want right now. So in summary, companies want to be able to closely monitor trends with you. So that is why when you have something like Power BI, where you could use the Power BI service to share to your manager using the Power BI app, it'll be very good. So quickly, you should be able to see at 8 a.m., this is what's happening, at 12 midday, at 8. So analysts, we need to give them fast feedback. That is what they want. And then there is that fear of bankruptcy. So they want expert skills. That is why they went online to recruit people from Upwork, from other freelancer sites, because they want people who can do. It's not a joke anymore. It's about being able to add value, hit the ground running. So we need to sharpen up our skills because either they are taking somebody in-house and training to do the job well, or they take an expert and take the person in-house to be able to do the job, or they outsource it to people who have proven to be able to do it online successfully. So, and then they also want right now more agile solutions, as we say, which is automation, and then building your cloud pipelines, because many are moving to the cloud. Since the cloud is generally cheaper, it takes away that upfront cost, and there's that elasticity in the cloud. It increases as your demand increases, the servers, it decreases as your demand decreases. So you don't need to buy a fixed server and you hope that maybe Christmas your servers are going to crash. Then in February, nobody is using your server. So that's why people are moving to the cloud, because of its agility, elasticity, and all that. And then you have the fact of digital. So customers are skeptical now when they go online. At times they want to make a purchase, they don't complete the purchase. So there is a lot of remarketing. That's why you go on Google, you search for earphones, you come out and you're some other page, they are proposing you those earphones again, because there's really that need to try to get the money out of the pockets of the customers. So digital should be something you should look up to. That is why You see a lot of jobs now, e-commerce, retail, recommendation systems, even back-end web development, stuff like that, because they want to be able to stay digital. So now, our fear, which is, will AI replace us? No, we should not be afraid. AI is even our friend. AI's job is to do routine tasks, but AI can never be creative. AI cannot tell you why something happened. It can do the you can do your analysis, and it does analysis. It comes up with the final answer, but then it cannot tell you maybe why, and there are lots of creative parts that. So we might see that our role might shift towards building those AI systems, those robots or those AI systems, and managing them, because those AI systems cannot manage themselves. So there might be a shift of role, but it's not that we are out. And that is why we need to stay dynamic, because times like this need you to instead go and build more automation, make things faster for your company, and instead be in control of the AI, because you're more creative, you're a human, you have emotional intelligence, you can talk to colleagues, you can smile at colleagues, you motivate your team. So AI can never replace us, guys. So don't be scared. Okay. So I just want to check, is everybody getting me? Can somebody confirm if we are?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. That's good. So now let's talk now about the skills actually that are needed. So this is a very interesting Venn diagram, which is something which you might look at later. If you see here, there's business, there's programming, there's statistics, there's communication. So typically, the accountant is different from, because this is where some of us are, want to be the perfect data scientist, and some of us want to be the perfect analyst. The accountant is different from us because the accountant understands the business, but doesn't understand statistics, not too excellent in communication and programming. The analyst is different from the data scientist because the analyst typically communicates, tells the story with the data, visualization, understands statistics and business, but the programming aspect is not that required. So that is why the data scientist role is a very big role, because you have many skills that you're putting together. You have to take from business understanding, you have to learn programming, you have to understand statistics, you have to be able to communicate effectively. So that is why they used to say the data scientist is a unicorn. They are looking for a unicorn that they can't find easily, because it's a really lifelong learning process. So let's move on. So generally, if you see, you have the soft skills, domain knowledge, communication, problem solving, critical thinking. We'll see a bit of tips of this in the next slide. Then you have these technical skills like Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau. You can choose Power BI or Tableau. And then you have your maths, statistics, machine learning, deep learning, the cloud services, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, software, software development, because when you start writing production code and code for big applications, you would need to be able to have some good habits in your software, naming your variables well, being able to write efficient code that can run for less time, can save the data storage, less space occupied. So, and then also recently I've seen a lot of requests for back-end development roles, partly because it is linked to the fact that most companies want to create websites now and be able to if this thing happens again, they should have good websites. So they want us, maybe the data scientists, to come and give them the logic like recommender systems on their website at the back end to support the front end React guys and the Node.js guys who would do the beautiful stuff, but we stay with the logic behind. So I also see this. So I see all these things there are many, but I will come to how you should look at those skills. So, but now for domain knowledge, you need to understand that domain knowledge just needs you to know how the business model works and you speak the language of the business. So you can look for a mentor, you can look for books about the business, you can go on YouTube, you can try to understand the domain through, you have to learn it either through YouTube, a mentor, or you just find a way to learn the business. Critical thinking is that you have to challenge your assumptions at times, and you have to try to gain deep understanding of the underlying causes of why you're doing that analysis. And then you also have the creative part, because we are part artists and part scientists, because you have to come up with new ways of doing things. And then we also have the problem solving, which problem solving has to do with you have to realize the fact that every project is not the same. So you will need to understand each project specifically for what it is and try to tweak or turn around to get the solution for that specific problem with specific different steps. The principle is there, the theory is there, but you need to apply them. The details will be different for each project. So, and then you have the communication, challenge your assumptions, and gain your deep understanding. So, the problem now you'll be wondering is, do we need to learn all of this and master all of this? That is where there is this T-shaped learning, which I want you to understand. There's the term, we are full stack data scientists, or for my definition of it is that you have a broad understanding, I can just say broad understanding, basic knowledge of at least all of these, but you have to go deep, say in Python, for example, go deep into machine learning, deep learning, machine learning ops. So you have a broad knowledge, even maybe what the front end guys are doing. I know, okay, this is what HTML looks like. This is what CSS would request from me. These are just, you need to have your full stack data, because this term is coming because there's a full stack web developer, which is the front end and the back end. So we are trying to say full stack data scientist, which starts from Excel, SQL, Power BI, Python, machine learning, deep, all of that. So you cannot really learn all of that. And that is why also data science is a team sport. Somebody might be good in Excel, somebody might be good in data mining, somebody might be good in data wrangling, somebody might be good in deep learning, machine learning, the cloud. So that is why generally it's usually in the teams. So, but then you need these app development skills, or just to be able to coordinate with the rest of the team too. But then realize that the key is get a basic knowledge, learn quickly, superficially, almost everything, but then go deep in one domain. And usually our natural route is usually machine learning, deep learning, and ML ops. So I search for some free and effective resources for those of you who are able to discipline themselves, because I know it's not easy. Not up to 10% of this kind of courses are completed, because it's not easy to follow through. I've tried a lot, of course, on Udemy and stopped many times. So then these are free courses for those who can. You have this Changu. If you see here, you can learn your Excel and Power BI. This guy is very good Excel, and he can give you can go to the website and read the articles and learn your Excel and Power BI free route. Then you also have this website, this Khan Academy, which you can learn your statistics and probability too. Yeah, they are very good. And then you have the free SQL resource, which is still under Khan Academy, which you can learn that there. And there is Udacity has a course which I find interesting. I did that course sometime. I find it interesting too. It's a course, Introduction to Python. This one too is free. So I'm going to share these resources again with you all, either through WhatsApp or any of those channels. And so for those who want to take this route, you can use this. So, but then us, we have in Analytics CFD, we have two major programs or two major routes. There's the data analyst route, which is that you understand what is data analysis, the mindset, SQL, Excel, some Python for exploratory data analysis, not really machine learning or just for analysis, and then visualization with Power BI, and then some projects. This is a course we are offering. And then you also have the data science crash course, which is for those who want to go the data science route, introduction to data science, SQL for data science, Python basics. You have data wrangling with Python, machine learning, prediction with scikit-learn. So these are for those who want to go the data science route. So these courses, the advantage is that we have them both in class and online for those who can follow online. And then there's that motivation, there's that follow-up, there's that mentorship, there are exercises, and then we try to canalize your energy so that you take a project from the beginning to the end with motivation. Because at times you might go and watch the Python video on one website, go and watch the SQL video on another website, go and watch the other one. So at the end of the day, you might not be able to correlate how do I import a JSON file and convert it to a CSV before doing my maybe web scraping or whatever. That coordination is missing. So if you feel like you need motivation, you can contact us for these courses. And then you have also customized trainings, like those who want to polish up their Excel from Excel 0 to hero, data visualization for those who want to do interesting visualizations, and then they also want to go the Python developer route, which is a very interesting route to be able to fully build or do automations and stuffs in Python. Then for web scraping, you want to be able to collect data from websites using your beautiful soap, Scrapy, and Selenium, all of that. These are specific skills. Then we also have company workshops where just for short trainings, you have data for managers to educate data literacy so that people are able to understand. Because when you have your team, your members who are data driven, it makes work easy for everybody. So we have data workshops, and then you have some data visualization trainings and some help with sales forecasts, time series models, and then some market segmentation with hierarchical clustering and k-means clustering in R and Python. So I think that now we have I have explained so many things, and with questions, I think we'll be able to know more. So let me go out of here, and I'll be waiting now for your questions. So I see some, okay, I see I'm getting you. Okay. So do we have any questions so far?
I have one.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I followed up like very closely. Data science is, how can I put it? Computer science and the whole coding and developing thing is not really my background. I'm in the computer science department, but I'm more into mathematical finance. And given the path that the world is taking now, everything is becoming digitalized, and you have to have some knowledge of finance. So my keen interest was when you were talking about the skills needed. When we spoke of the soft practical skills, the technical skills, that's for somebody who is maybe into predictive or machine learning, data analytics. So for somebody who is into mathematical finance, say risk management or financial derivatives, what are the things you will need? Like what skills would you need? It's still the financial domain, it's still about the artificial intelligence, but what are those skills related to the computer science department that will make you stand out?
Okay, okay. Generally, what you need is because if you see there is the business domain, one of the major things is domain knowledge. That's why when you and even you have even critical thinking, communication, right? Because those are the soft skills. So if we're talking about the technical skills, I think your first place to start would be Excel. You need to be good at Excel. because that is found in everybody's computer. You need to be able to share what you've done, do your risk metrics, the impact, the probability, and all. You need to be able to use even the visualization to show, okay, this one has more impact, negative impact on us. This one has positive impact on us. So that is why you need skills like, because there is the data analyst who is usually, you don't need much of that programming. You're from Excel, maybe some visualization with Power BI, and then SQL is usually when you have your database is big. So if you're in a company, because Excel has its limit, after 1 million rows, you can't open up Excel as columns. You must open them like directly on Power Pivot, like a data model. So if you're in a small company, you can use your Excel. You learn how to do pivot tables, learn how to do your conditional formatting, your what if scenarios for your risk. All of you'll be able to think like an analyst, to be able to use data to say, this is what I think is the risk with this measure. This is even simulations. So you don't need to necessarily go to predicting, using machine learning to predict, but you can do what an analyst does, but you don't need to be a machine learning specialist. So you can be contented with your data analyst, your good visualization, your good communication, your critical thinking. When the manager say, let's do this, you say, no, I think that from my analysis, what I've noticed, no, let's go left, let's go right. So you can influence decisions at that level with your good data cleaning skills. You go to the database, you do your Excel, you show them with a chart, everybody is convinced.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I see a question here. Please, I have a question. Please, I have worked in manufacturing industry. In the manufacturing industry, and does a data analyst can data every data like asset care when you don't know relationship between the data? Okay, let me see. Does data analyst analyze every data like asset care management when you don't know relationship? Okay, one of the things, that's why to get the relationship in your data, that's why that exploratory data analysis is important. Exploratory data analysis is that you don't even know the relationship that exists. It's just like you just throw the data and you start looking. Okay, let me check, let me try this. That's why you need visualization skills, like to be able to plot a graph or use your pivot table or your charts. You put a pie chart or a bar chart, and then you say, hey, or even a scatter plot, you plot maybe like the revenue against the spending against the customer, against the revenue we got. Then you say, okay, no, this is not, the more we are increasing the spending, we are not even getting any revenue. Let's stop this. So it's just, you need to, relationships, you easily find them in your early analysis, because one of the things you're trying to find as a data scientist is what are the things that are correlated to the success of, or what determine when a customer would not pay back our loan, what determines when a customer would not buy from us, what determines when a customer will leave us. So your job is to find out what are the relationships in your data, not necessarily predicting. That's why there are major types of analysis. Number one, descriptive analysis. What happened? Simply, what did we sell yesterday? That's all we want to hear from you, analysts. We sold 1,000. The North sold 800, and the remaining region sold 200. Okay, so the North was a big seller yesterday. Fine, that's what happened. That's what happened. That's descriptive analysis. It ends there. Then you have diagnostic analysis, which is why. Why is it that there's a certain warehouse or there's a certain area that we keep losing stock every day, or we are not able to sell? Maybe our store is hidden. It's in a place where the people need to go around, turn around before they see us. So why is it that? So you start asking why. So your job is just to get the why, and you submit the why result, and your job is over. You've not gone to the cloud. You have not predicted anything. You've just answered why. Then you also have now the exploratory data analysis, which I say is that you tell your manager, let me go over the weekend. If I find something interesting, I'll come and tell you. Then you start playing with the data. You say, hey, but there are some customers that give us 80% of the revenue, and we don't even stress to recover from them. but they give us lots. Let's instead focus on those guys and forget about these other guys who we spend lots of campaign calling them. They never come back to us. So nobody knew that when they gave you the data. It's just that you are curious. You go, you find it, then you come back and you give the results and they say, wow, that's fantastic. So every Monday they're waiting to hear good news from you. That is exploratory data analysis. Nobody knew. If not, they would have tell you to just go and bring me that results. Then you have now the predictive, which is not usually what the data analyst does. The data analyst role ends there after descriptive, diagnostic, exploratory, bye-bye, generally. Now, the data scientists now come in now with their skills of predicting this one, we are going to sell this, we are with this based on this guy's characteristic, he's this age, he is this from this town, he has this level of income, he has this post, he probably not pay back this loan. So we should not give him this loan. So he starts predicting. That's the data scientist's role. It's not the role of the data analyst. But then if a company sees two CVs, one CV says, I can do an N before predictive. Then another CV says, I can do and even do you predictive. We know these guys are capitalists. So I hope you understand that relationship finding is your job. It's your job. So as an analyst, you need to find out what are the two key things that determine who defaults on a loan or not. There are many things in the form he filled, his age, his children, his this, his that. Nobody knows. It's only when you get into the data that you find a pattern. The machine will find a pattern and say, from these patterns that they have given, let me explain to you one thing about machine learning. There's a difference between machine learning and the former way of programming computers. Before, you used to tell a computer every Thursday do this. Machine learning is that I give you hundreds, thousands of people who have not paid back their loans and ones who have paid back their loan. I don't know the pattern. You look at them and give me the pattern. So they give you input, output, you give me the pattern. Before, we used to give the machine the pattern. You must do it like this, and this is the input like this. So every Monday, go there, open this door, close this other door, open this one, close this one, then save it here. That is, you are programming it. But then machine learning is that, I don't know, this is when the door is closed, this is when the door is open. Look at 30,000 doors and tell me when the door is closed and when the door is open. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Okay, no other question? Okay, but can you get me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let me see, is there any other, let me look at this, I'm seeing. So how can we use data analysis to manage assets, stock, and wastage in production chain? Yes, this is where now most of the thing of sales forecasting, which is the time series model. So this is usually where we use a lot of predictive to say, okay, we sold this amount last time. So given the historic data, we are going to be able to sell this amount in future. So this is, you have models like time series, which you take in a lot of historic data. You can say if you have 10 stores, you take the data for the 10 stores. Each of those 10 stores, we have two products, maybe one product of 25 kilogram, another product of 50 kilogram. So you are able to use machine learning to understand how all those products were sold in all the 10 stores, and also how you can sell them in future in all the 10 stores. And that will also make you to know how you're going to command you're going to resupply your chain, because you've predicted that I'm going to finish selling all of this within the next 6 months. So before 6 months time, let the people who have to supply me the raw materials, maybe from China, by the 4th month, they should start shipping it so that I can receive it in time. So that is how you can use it to predict. But before then, you normally get in with your data analysis, understand what are some patterns in the sales process, what makes people to buy, what makes them not to buy, what makes it sell, and then you are able to know, okay, at this rate, this is what we can sell, this is what we can't sell. So do we have any other question again? Okay. So, any question? Okay. So, I think, so, okay, but any feedback, any question, any feedback?
Yes, sir. I have a feedback and a question, but it's not anyway. The feedback is I want to say thank you very much. This was an excellent presentation. Trust me, it's given me a lot of insights to some stuff I didn't have the slightest idea about, and it shows a lot of time and commitment you've taken to put this together. We appreciate you. We say thank you. And my question is, please, will this be
Thank
available?
you.
Like the recording of it, can you make it available, please?
Yes, yes, it'll be available for all who registered for
Thank.
the program.
Okay.
And yeah, it'll be available for you. Yes, so you can follow it up. And I'm even thinking maybe we might need to have maybe some follow up, maybe after some certain months, try to refresh on the new trends. I don't know what you people think about that.
I'm totally in support of that, please.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I see here Cheryl is saying I really enjoyed it. It was brilliant and it answered a lot of my okay, yeah, yeah. Okay. So do we have any other remarks, any other comments before we close? Okay, Tasha is asking if the online course can be given in French. Yes, yes. Tasha, I have some French people I take the course with. And one thing is that, for example, Python is in English. So we can explain, on peut faire des petites explications en français, mais après, à la fin de la journée, on va retourner par dire what is this variable equals to, length of that equals to, bon. So the explanations, I have some French people I'm already taking courses with, and then we just do like Sasso comme Sasso. Thanks for that. Because I know there's also that challenge. Many of these courses online are in English, so at times we want to understand it, but the times the English is like mostly so. I have some few people like that I try to take them, explain to them in French, and then when we are coding or we are normally, most of those languages are in English. So that is just it. To anyone interested in the training should contact me, and we can always. So if one says, I really enjoyed the webinar, it was a site opening for me as I'm a new big data analyst. I really appreciate this great opportunity. Thanks so much. And Oluwasen, I hope I pronounced your name well. Do you think we should have follow-up webinars like this time to time to refresh ourselves? Okay, okay, okay. I think that, and let me see. I would like also that if you have some ideas, like some things that you want us to discuss about, because most of this, I told you, it's a new field. It is really new. Many people some countries don't even have any trainings like that. Some countries are advanced, but then it is really something that we really should. My LinkedIn is there, everything is there. If you also have some suggestions, some questions, some topics, some things that you think that you would want us to discuss about, you could also submit that so that we can prepare our next webinar to be also that rich for you and to help you attain your goals. Because that's my pride, that at the end of the day, we should start getting those jobs coming from those sites towards us, because I see a lot of jobs in Upwork, they are going to India. A lot of jobs on Upwork, they are going to India. And they just like already have a base there. So we need to start building those kind of structures around us and bringing those kind of jobs towards us so that people come closer to us and know we are resourceful and we can do those things. It's not just done that way, it's done also in our locality. Yes. So You say, please, can I combine business and data analysis together? Yes, it's very, 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 very important. Very, very important, because you cannot do it without doing the business part of it. You, without the business, it's just like you're just a mathematician who is just excited. You just create maybe complex formulae. The best thing should be the simplest. Your key thing should be, what can I say or do to my manager tomorrow that the guy will be very happy with me? You are there just to make sure that you add value to the business. You are not there to prove that you know more mathematics than. That's why you'll be surprised that there are very many companies. I spoke to one Indian in US, in Bloomberg. He told me, my man, in Bloomberg, which is a big software company, I'm a big senior software developer, but we use more Excel than you can imagine. And he's a Python tutor. He's a top 10 Python YouTube tutor in the world. I spoke with him. He told me, you will not believe it, that they use a lot of Excel in most of those things. So you see that you need to understand the business and do simple things. There are times the simpler the model, the better you can explain it to your manager and they'll buy it. When it's more complicated, they will not even understand it. So Itame said, I got online a few minutes late, but I enjoyed the presentation. Thank you very much, sir. Because in a few minutes, I discovered what data analysis was really about, because I did not know that much about the subject. I'm very in line with you. There's not much literature. There's people are scattered. The courses, the learning part, you go and take somebody's course this way, you start, the person will take you so deep into things that are not necessary. Then the next person will take you deep into things that are not necessary. At the end of the day, you find yourself maybe having 3 masters, but you have not really had a structured something which holds you from the beginning, teaches you just the basics to have that T-shaped learning, broad understanding of what every part is doing. Then you have now that deep knowledge on one aspect, because we are looking at times for experts, so that the experts, they can come and save us from the situation. So, but you need to know the general understanding of the subject. So I hope next time we would be able to inform many of our friends, bring in much of our people who want to learn about the subject, so that we can really try to get those jobs and those opportunities coming towards our way. Because I believe data science is a very good field, data analysis and all of that, because you're close to decision making. When a company is in a recession, they need a data analyst to take them out of the recession. Look at this business and tell us how we can go out of this thing. That's what they'll come to you. So you'll not be sacked easily. And then also, most of the apps would be needing to be intelligent. You either go intelligent or you go obsolete. So they will always need somebody to come and add that functionality of, can you better make my search to be better? Can you create me a better chatbot? Can you recommend me better products, so that when I click on this, it can show me related things? So most apps, most websites, even if some of you are using Photoshop right now, Photoshop 2021 came out with the aspect of, you can select subject, you can identify what's a human and who is not a human. So you're able to know just from, let me go back to my camera. You're able to know the Photoshop 2021 is able to identify what is a human and what is a background image or so. So those are smart things that are coming up that we need to master as data analysts and data scientists. Okay, so if there's nothing else again, so let me just end this. Let me just end this by saying, can you see my screen, guys? Oh, there's a typo here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so here we say analytic jobs are increasing. Companies want faster time to insight. So the faster you tell them what is happening, the better for you. digital channels are a priority right now. Your creativity beats automation, so embrace automation. We should be moving towards automation and show that we are creative, sell the fact that we are creative. Then our cloud services is going to be the future. It's already moving towards cloud. And if you're on the data analyst side, try to master your Excel, such as pivot tables, charts, and formulae. Try to understand your visualization with your Excel charts and Power BI. Try to learn some SQL so that you can collect some small data from some sources and reduce them and then put them back in your Excel and continue what you are doing. And then if you want, you can be going now machine learning just to say we never stop learning. If you're on the data science side, you try to master your machine learning and deep learning. You try to because this is key, you need to be, you're the one that depend on to do all those machine learning, deep learning tasks, build chatbots, and then you try to learn back-end development. This is coming up too much right now because they want you to go to the back and add some intelligence to those websites at the back end. So, and then now you can learn your MLOps with the cloud like AWS, Google, Azure. And then this one is object-oriented programming. You need it to be able to build better software that are efficient, that are fast, that are in line with what those software developers are used to, so that all of you can communicate. So this is a summary of all we did, and thank you very, very much, guys. Okay, good. So thank you, and I think we can call it a day. Let's continue to chat on WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and all the other channels, and we will definitely continue this next time. And anybody who wants any specialized training or any specialized skill, or to take the training from zero analyst to a complete analyst, or from zero data scientist to a complete data scientist, you can always contact me. Tell your friends, tell everybody. Let us try to take the ball on our side this time around. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.